That's what you've got. Stop right there! Who are you? And what do you want here? It's Sir Galahad to you, vagrant. But it's true, this is our camp. We're his personal guard. But you won't be meeting tonight until you tell us why you're here. It's true that this pin obliges me to take you to the knight. But did you actually earn it? Or did you just pluck it from a corpse? Well, that's for Galahad to decide. Go. But bear in mind that Galahad is not a patient man. I only hope your cause is worth his time. Otherwise, we'll be carrying you out in a sack. The door is open. You'll find Galahad inside. Try not to make him angry.
I can hear you! Who goes there? It's shiny, sure, but you clearly have no idea what you're doing. Waving a round table pin in front of a knight of the round table? Not the smartest move. Normally, I'd throw you out for your arrogance and stupidity. But you're lucky. I've got a soft spot for boldness. And that pin has me curious. Where'd you get it? You mean you found Caradoc's tomb and robbed it? Interesting. And when exactly did this happen? Where did you last see him? I see. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. So what do you want then? Ask them. We're going to fight the Dalrita. We're driving that rabble out of the All-Mother's temple. And when we head home, we'll put their heads on pikes at the gates of the Forlorn Swords. That way the rest of those barbarians will know Camelot is still watching over them, even if we have to protect them from themselves. At the beginning, yes. But they're primitive. They don't respect order. They never will. Arthur gave them the Forlorn Swords, a rich land where they could govern themselves. They were supposed to watch the giants deliver iron and chase after their cousins through the tunnels, or whatever it is that tickles their fancy. But no, that wasn't enough for them. I've always thought Avalon would be better without them. Arthur probably gathered them all in one place, hoping they'd kill each other. But that didn't work, so we'll have to do this the hard way. Oh, so you don't know? One-Eye's a traitor. He's fooled the younger tribesmen with grand promises of uniting the tribes and marching north. The Council of Elders is still loyal to us. They want no part in a war. He's just a bandit, abandoned by his own people. When his village fell, no one came to help, and One-Eye, like the rat he is, ran. I'm just here to finish what I started. And when the Elders see us take down One-Eye, we won't need to worry about those savages for another 600 years. The war's already here. It's been going on for a while. We're fighting each other in the west, and people are whispering about rebellion in the north. The last thing we need is united tribes. That's exactly why we need Camelot and the Horns of the South to be strong and united. You do know that the lighthouse of the Horns of the South works like a giant menhir, right? It's why we've ordered them to build another one to strengthen its power. As for how the Dalrita feel about the weirdness, I don't care. I'm here to protect our people, and those tribes are in the way. That was the plan. It's my job to keep those lazy fish eaters in check. Camelotian gold flows to them, and I need to make sure they're doing something with it. But the Dalrita showing up, that made things more interesting. Their presence will bring down the South, and I don't let things fall apart on my watch. I know what people say about me. They think I'm a madman who burns everything, a butcher who hangs the innocent. I've heard it all. But I believe that only decisive action gets results. There's no room for mercy when it comes to insubordination, deserters, or heretics. It's the only way to prevent the fall of Avalon. The one on the left was questioning my orders. For some reason, he thought his opinions were more important than obedience in the middle of a war. They aren't. The one on the right decided Camelot wasn't paying enough, so he thought that was a good enough excuse to help himself to his comrades' pockets. It wasn't. Denunciation, like loyalty, can be valuable. The key is knowing who deserves loyalty and who needs to be reported. I appreciate you telling me, but unfortunately, you haven't told me anything I didn't already suspect. Well, that's fortunate, because between the two of us, I'd be the one walking away. Instead, I've got an offer you can't refuse. We're going to fight the Dalrita. We're driving that rabble out of the All-Mother's temple. And when we head home, we'll put their heads on pikes at the gates of the Forlorn Swords. That way the rest of those barbarians will know Camelot is still watching over them, even if we have to protect them from themselves. Oh, so you don't know? One Eye's a traitor. He's fooled the younger tribesmen with grand promises of uniting the tribes and marching north. The Council of Elders is still loyal to us. They want no part in a war. He's just a bandit, abandoned by his own people. When his village fell, no one came to help, and One Eye, like the rat he is, ran. I'm just here to finish what I started. And when the Elders see us take down One Eye, we won't need to worry about those savages for another 600 years. See you at the temple. Make sure to sharpen your sword. We're going to have some fun.
armor fails me. Shield is a fortress. I'll strike you down. Your armor won't save you. I'll strike you down.
heard rumors. The Del Rita, yet when I asked, it seems if you have much the same. He was a fierce warrior, determined to win at any cost. I watched him closely, and I found him too consumed by cruelty. That is why I chose Seawall and Palamedes as my closest confidants, not him. Yet this Galahad still seems devoted to Camelot and the old ways, and he remains just as fierce.
You've exceeded expectations, whelp. Who'd have thought a nobody from nowhere would prove so useful? This had to be done. The Dalrita weren't just rebels. They were a disease, threatening everything we've built. And taking down Briadan, that was a personal pleasure. The man was a heretic, a fool, who forgot his place. Well, the less you know, the better you'll sleep. Brandon and his lackeys stumbled onto something. A place that should never see the light of day. They wanted to expose it. Heresy, plain and simple. King Arthur gave everything to secure Avalon's peace. To reveal such places would spit on his memory and open the gates to chaos. And we can't have that during the war. War is about control, and preventing heresy is how we maintain it. Because he was an idiot blinded by desperation. He thought exposing it would shake the South, destroy morale, and somehow help his cause. Instead, he only doomed himself and his people. And for what? To align himself with savages? To play at power he couldn't grasp? The man was beyond redemption. Let's not test my patience. I've told you more than you need to know. Whatever it is, it stays buried. End of story. Oh, don't confuse Briaden's lunatics with the Dalrida as a whole. Camelot respects its agreements with the Council of Elders. What you saw here was just a pack of fools dreaming of taking Avalon for themselves. That dream ended today. Now, I'll leave this fish-stinking dump behind and return to Camelot. There's work to be done, and One Eye's revolt was just a symptom of something worse. Killing him won't stop the next rat from rising. Here, take this. My directive for appointing a new captain. Tradition says I should do it in person, but frankly, I've got bigger priorities. Virgas will take over as interim captain, and Killian will handle quartermaster duties. They're the only ones in this cesspit who aren't completely out of touch with reality. When I return, I'll make it official, but I doubt anything will change. Ah, yes. The great ritual. Here's what you need to know. There's an old gong in the sunken village. They say striking it starts the test, meant to separate the worthy from the rest. Romantic, isn't it? Reality is far less poetic. Those trials, they killed most who tried. And those who survived, well, they were changed, twisted, unnatural. Only those who endured were worthy of becoming keepers. The so-called guardians of Excalibur. But ask yourself this. If none of them are alive to tell the tale, how much of this ritual is truth and how much is just desperate myth? I don't know, and I don't care. I don't have time for folktales and the nonsense of these glorified fishermen. If you want to chase their stories, go ahead, but don't drag me into it. I'm here to fight a war, not indulge in their fantasies. Now, I've wasted enough time here. Stay alive if you can, or don't, it's your choice. I have more important matters to deal with.
wanderer in the sunken village. You must be lost. Back in the day, you just needed to look at the stars and you'd know where you were going. Now, even they are misplaced. Island Asylum? I don't remember being there, not clearly. But when I look at your face, something stirs. Yes, I'm sure we've crossed paths before. And look at you now, out in the world, breathing the fresh air. That's something to treasure, my friend. Freedom is a gift, even when it feels heavy. Enjoy it. I guess I'm just an old man listening to the sound of the sea. Every wave carries a story, you know. Some are whispers, others are roars. I like to think they're keeping me company. Long ago, I decided to wait for something to happen. So I'm waiting. For what's ahead of me. But I can feel that it's closer than ever. Everything that's around us, it's not yet the end. And that thought really bothers me. I have everything I need. The entire world in one place. Before you go, I would like to ask you one thing. Who are you? I understand. I see you. I hear you. And I have a feeling that you will find what you're looking for. Farewell, and thank you for visiting me, my friend. You can come keep me company whenever you want. The sunsets here are beautiful.
Stay out of my way. You've met Galahad. Why isn't he here himself? This can't be real. Galahad confirms Captain Brendan's death and calls him a traitor to the Keepers. He's named me interim captain. Me? And says he'll make it official on his next visit. His seal is here. It's undeniable. If Galahad believes I'm the one to set things right, I won't argue. Someone has to. But Brandon, a traitor? I can hardly believe it. I'd heard rumors of his dealings with One Eye and his faltering judgment. If he sided with the enemy, then this end was inevitable. Now it's on me to make sure the Keepers don't follow Brandon into ruin. I'll undo the lockdown. The Horns of the South will rise again. Properly. Galahad has promised reinforcements, and I'll see to rebuilding our ranks. Recruitment, training, real purpose. For the first time in years, I have hope. Not just for the Keepers, but for the South itself. Come with me. I have to let the Keepers know.
Brothers of the South, we've lost Brandon, a captain who led with grit and a sharp mind. His absence weighs on us all. But our purpose does not die with him. The Horns of the South are more than one leader, more than one name. We are a legacy, a bond that cannot be broken. We've faced loss, we've faced doubt, but we're still here. The Horns of the South do not falter. We endure. And today, we rise once more. We return to the roots that made us strong, to the traditions that bound us together. The Horns of the South will reclaim their honor, their purpose, and their place in these lands. Our name will mean something again. Galahad has pledged tighter bonds with Camelot. Together, we will stand stronger, and all will know that the South is shielded, its people protected. Remember your oaths. From this day forward, we stand united. With each other, with Camelot, and no threat will scatter us again. The danger from the Dalriada and the bandits has passed, and others will come as they always do. Let them. We will face them as we always have, with courage, with steel, and with unwavering loyalty. The Horns of the South do not bow. We do not break. We stand together. Now, let's show the world that we are not just surviving. We are thriving. To the South! To the Horns!
I like it when things are quiet.
Why would you want to fix it? Do you even know what it is?
Take some advice from an old man. If there's a giant, ancient statue that somebody tried to turn to dust, they must have had a good reason for it.
Well, if you put it that way, then I suppose I have to tell you the truth. Otherwise, the terror from the sea will bite me in the ass while I bathe.
Of course I can fix it. I've been doing this kind of thing since I could swing a hammer. It's a skill we pass down from master to apprentice, generation to generation. Nothing fancy, just good old blacksmithing. Obviously, though, you'd have to bring me a couple things so that I can actually do it. How did you, Oh, forget it. I don't even want to know. Just give me a moment.
Here. That should do it. Do whatever you need to, if you're really sure about this. But please try to come back alive.
If only. I can't get in touch with Brandon. And it seems that he gave the order to keep me here. Precisely here. Right in this damned spot. And I'm afraid. If I stay here any longer, some of those geezers might actually drop dead. Don't get me wrong, I quite like this place. The air is crisp, the sea is calming. It's true, the company could be better, but I wouldn't mind living here one day. Only a keeper is allowed to own property in the Horns of the South. I looked it up. It's an actual law, not just something Brandon made up so I'd stop breathing down his neck. So unless I grow a pecker overnight, it'll never happen.
dares disturb my peace. You made an oath never to summon me again. Excalibur. Wait. Is it really you? You, who come from a time beyond. Show yourself before me.
It seems he speaks to me. Allow me to answer him.
Welcome, old friend.
I can see that you know me, but I am a mere shadow of my true self. I don't remember you, Lord of the Seas. Forgive me.
That's what you told me, my friend. The next time we see each other, you will not remember me. But you are here now. The will and the power led you back to this place. Even in this incomplete form.
Where should I look for myself? I wish to restore Avalon to its former glory, yet I don't know how.
Avalon's fate has never rested upon one person alone, not even one as great as King Arthur. Yet here you are, trying again, restless and eager to take the responsibility again. I salute you, my friend.
Tell me what I must do to be worthy to lead Avalon once more. I do not think I have the strength.
Your path is true. Seek wholeness, and Avalon will reveal what it needs from you. And yes, you need to touch Excalibur.
Thank you, my friend.
And you, mortal. You have given yourself to the King's service. You are worthy of a place among the Keepers of the South. The promise I gave thy mother is fulfilled, and thus our pact is ended. You know where to look for your soul. Trust yourself. And when you reach your journey's end, I trust you will make the right choice.
am his will, the fire that bends the world to his command. I am the blade that shapes kings and shatters tyrants.
Enough, Merlin. You can't keep throwing lives into this abyss. These experiments, they're destroying what remains of us.
Destroying us? They're what's keeping us alive. Do you think the Four Dwellers will stop for pity or mercy? Every soul we lose here saves 10 more on the battlefield. You told me to do this. You sanctioned this. And I'm close to getting it right. I know it.
No, we can't justify this. There's no victory worth such a cost.
You know full well, Arthur, that this isn't about victory. It's about survival. If we don't push these boundaries, there will be no future for your kingdom, for Avalon. You dream of peace, but without victory, there will be no peace to dream of. The path ahead is brutal, but if we relent now, we lose everything.
And yet we keep losing people and gaining nothing in return. We must change the path.
They volunteered for this.
They volunteered to save our kingdom, and you've gotten no closer to doing it. Their sacrifices cannot be in vain, Merlin. Find another way. Use your mind, your wisdom. Leave this slaughterhouse you've created behind.
A different way. That will take time. And resources we may not have. The enemy won't wait.
They will if I make them. Whatever it takes, I will buy you that time. Find me a weapon that wins this war without annihilating what we fight to protect.
Whatever it takes.
Yes. Let it be known that it was my decision, and I will bear the consequences of it.
Oh no, my king. People can never know. It was all my idea, and you knew nothing about it. All of us have our role to play. You are the leader, and they need to love you. If we win, you need to become more than a man. You need to become a symbol.
Now, I remember. Before you judge me, it all seems so obvious now, doesn't it? The right thing to do. It wasn't back then, and you can trust me on that. We were on the brink of losing the war. And wars aren't won with wishful thinking. There was no clean path, no noble answer. Only the weight of reality pressing down on our necks. Something had to be done, or everything we fought for would have been in vain. And in the end, the ones who stepped forward, who chose to pay the price, made it possible. And their deaths gave Merlin the knowledge he needed to finish his work. To find something that could really turn the tide in our favor. I did. But this wasn't about pride. It wasn't about saving face. It was about survival. The truth about all this would have broken my people. I couldn't allow that. And a king doesn't get to flinch. If that meant carrying the weight alone, so be it. I would make that choice again if I had to. Justified? No. Justification is for those who have the luxury of doubt. And I had a kingdom to save. They were brave men who volunteered their lives, just as they did every time we rode onto the battlefield. The difference was that if Merlin succeeded, one man's sacrifice could have saved us all, could have ended the war before more blood was spilled. If sacrificing a few meant the survival of all, then there was no choice at all. Maybe they never saw justice. Maybe their real stories were erased from history. Call it cruelty. Call it madness. But if I'd done nothing, there would be no Avalon left to argue over. But the kingdom still stands. The people live. And that has to mean something. I told him to stop the experiments on our men, but to keep going. And he did. He started experimenting on the Four Dwellers, the enemy. If their bodies could be broken down, their power turned against them, wasn't that their own doing? Wasn't that fair? So he figured out how to twist the Four Dwellers' power into something we could wield. I told him to conquer the weirdness. And in the end, he did. He found a way to make me stronger. Stronger than any man had the right to be. It wasn't just magic. It was something deeper, older. A force that reshaped me. And with it, we won. The war ended. Avalon was ours. The bloodshed stopped. The banners were raised. And the kingdom stood safe. That's the question, isn't it? I keep thinking about Seawall. He was ready to pay the ultimate price for what we were fighting for. And I thought he did. I grieved him. Told myself his sacrifice had meaning, that he had given his life for Avalon. And now, after all these years, finding him like this, I told myself I carried the weight of my choices. But seeing him, I wonder if I ever truly did.
You've got that look again, like you've seen something you wish you hadn't. Another piece of the king's soul reclaimed, right? What did it show you this time? The weirdness. The king thought it could save us. Merlin thought it could be controlled. Together, they were willing to tear the world apart to win. I was a prototype for Merlin's latest idea, immortality. Me and Sewell, the king's loyal pawns. Used and discarded when they found a better way. When they decided to go even deeper into their madness and turn our king into a monster. Even if he didn't, he should have. He was desperate to win. And desperation doesn't leave room for conscience. Every scream, every scar, even if he didn't see it, he allowed it. That's as good as approving it. Fight back. Against who? Merlin? The king? You don't fight gods when you're just a pawn on their board. You endure. You wait. And when the time comes, you either break, or you're left to clean up their mess. That's what I do. What I've always done. Sewell was Merlin's first attempt. I was the last. We could say I was lucky, but to say that would take a truly macabre sense of humor, don't you think? The monsters, the weirdness, the chaos, all of it leads back to them. We're left in the ruins of their grand plans, trying to uphold their ideals, fighting for what never was. It's time to bury all these fairy tales in a well-deserved grave. And that's what I do. You've seen what they did, what he did. And that's not the end of the story. It's not the extent of their sins. Find the pieces of his soul. Put him back together, if that's what it takes. And then we, or I alone, if you decide to defy me, can end the cycle. Either way, we will get to his resurrection. I've seen it too many times to believe the cycle will be broken before it happens. But know this, once he's whole, Arthur's power, his mistakes, and his madness will all return. And when that moment comes, I'll be there. Whether to stand with you or step over you. The choice is yours. Just remember that when that happens, and you stand by his side, there won't be room for both of you. Start. You've already started. But if you want the next piece, head to Kunacht. The menhir there is failing, the weirdness swallowing what's left of the village. You will need to find another artifact. The shield our king gave to Palamedes. He was one of the king's finest. A voice of reason amidst the madness. But it didn't save him or his legacy from what they had coming. Find the shield. And then, well, we will meet again. We'll see if your perspective changes.
stranger. May the word bless your day. Is there something you need? A warm meal? A place to rest? Or perhaps you're in need of a weapon to bolster your courage as you travel through these dark and troubled lands. I haven't gathered much, but you might find something useful here. Certainly. Here's what I have. At the end of his papacy, the 18th Pope of the Red Church issued the Papal Bull of Calling. It's truly a sacred scripture. I often find myself going back to it, as the word therein moves me deeply. Out of all the verses, these are the ones that resonate with me most. May all those called by the word never be forsaken by it. If your way of the word leads you through thorns and whips, embrace it and become an inquisitor of penance. If your way of the word is that of a sword, blood, and fire, shed the blood, fuel the fires, and become an inquisitor of pain. I have been called, so here I am, and this is my truth. Unless my interpretation of the Papal Bull of Calling is wrong, then yes, that's an apt description of what I do. Therefore, if it's words of comfort you're seeking, I'm afraid you've come to the wrong person. I don't perform priestly duties. Fare thee well, then.
I cannot say for certain. My memory remains too clouded. It seems familiar. I do not feel my soul bound to it, but I know our path shall lead us here, one way or another. Something lingers beyond this gate. Something ancient. That much I know. We'll find the truth soon enough. Yes, it seems we knew each other well during the war. And this proves that I sought allies beyond our own forces. And I trusted him enough to carry the knowledge of Excalibur. This must count for something. It was supposed to be a reminder. The sword was never just steel. It was a symbol of what we stood for. Strength, justice, the will to carve a path forward. A weapon, yes, but also a promise. I wanted them to remember, to fight for those ideals, to uphold them, even when I was gone, even when there was no king left to lead them. Merlin saw Avalon for what it was long before the rest of us. He told me that Tintagel wouldn't hold, not forever. That the weirdness would gnaw at our walls, at our minds, at our very bones, until nothing human remained. But he still fought to map a way forward, to carve some sense into this land. And in the end, the land swallowed him whole anyway. We were losing the battle at Tuathan's mouth, our last push before the weirdness took the field. Merlin was with us, bleeding, exhausted, but still weaving his spells. Then it came. Not a beast, not a man, not something we ever had words for. A shadow, wearing 1,000 torn banners, moving like it had no shape of its own. Merlin raised his staff, spoke a name I didn't recognize. And then he was gone. Not killed, not struck down, just gone. Like the land itself had taken him back.
Nice to see you.
Come, sit.
Greetings, traveler.
We don't have much, but the Prophet has blessed us with the fire of this hearth, so that we may warm ourselves and prepare a meal.
And if you're in need of a blessing, we're here to offer that as well. The strength granted by the word is invaluable in these dark, dark times.
May the grace of the word fall upon you, for the word is the path. If your path leads through thorns, listen to the word, for it will give you strength. And may those thorns guide you to the stars.
Beautifully said, brother.
Yes, Wanderer. I am listening. By the word, does this mean we too might have the chance to meet an Inquisitor? That would be incredible. The Inquisitors of the Red Church are truly sanctified beings, chosen by the word, chosen by the Prophet herself. They pave the way for the rest of the priests. I hope we are also graced with such an honor. As I mentioned before, we don't have much. Farewell.
Oh, hello there. Be blessed.